Everyone, welcome, welcome. Let me just adjust a few things here while we get ready. Super excited for tonight because we are going to be working on the uh on all the goldish decorations. So for the most part, we'll be targeting all the bits that I want to color in gold. But in order to do that, we're gonna I'll also change up tonight's playlist a bit. Let's do something a little more chill. Yeah, that's more like it. So we're gonna be doing the golden bits today. It's gonna be our main focus. So we do need to mix up some new colors. I actually refreshed our palette. I got rid of the old one because it's pretty much filled up to the brim of different colors of paint. So I wanted to be sure that our palette was clean this time around so that we don't have a hard time with mixing colors, especially with what happened yesterday was that a lot of the water actually stayed on top of the sheet. It didn't go through. So this sheet here, it's semi-permeant basically, and underneath is a foam that keeps this sheet moist. So as long as it's moist, the paint stays wet for the most part. It doesn't dry quickly. So I wanted to be sure that we got all of that down today. So we're gonna first off, I'm gonna clean up my station here because we've got so much paint lying around. But we are still gonna be using our palladium white. We're gonna be using the Valiant brass, gray brown definitely for once we start getting into leather. Oh, this is not the right one. Actually, we have leather brown right here. Okay, ivory goes back here. We're gonna pull up bronze. What's this one? Beige red. I think I'll be using this later on for flesh. Then, okay, we do need that steel drab. Where is it? Steel Legion drab. Steel Legion drab. Where are you? There you are. We're still gonna need you. Yes. So this is let me find the exact name because I don't want to mess this up. It's almost like wax paper, honestly. It just says sheet paper. Palette sheet paper. So hydration foam and sheet paper, basically. I'm interested though in the palette set. It looks cool. I'll have to do some extra research because I can probably get a better palette for painting. Basically, it's good for mixing colors and stuff when you need it. But for the most part, I just took a plastic tray from whatever, like my mother had some extra plastic trays. I took it and I basically measured it and see if the stuff could fit in, and that's where it sits now. So this is hydration paper. That's it. I think that's the correct term. There's the hydration foam underneath here. It's like basically a sponge, and this is hydration sheet paper. It's almost like wax paper and can keep liquids basically from going right through, can keep the paint from going through, but at the very least, it keeps the paint moist. So, yes. Now, let's get to work. Sharpen up our bristle here. Let's also prepare our steel drab because we still have a lot of gold to paint. So I'm gonna be mostly targeting these, all of this here. So we're gonna coat it first with some steel drab, Legion steel drab. It's kind of a brownish, light brown color, but it will, once it comes in contact with the black. Actually, I'm gonna add just a bit of water into the mix, just a bit, to make it a little thin, because I don't want it too thick, because I want it to mix with the black. That's why we kind of primed it black so we could get this effect. So I'm just gonna color everything here on top, and then later on we can just paint. So I'm gonna try and thin it out just a bit. Next is the sensor. I don't want to accidentally hit the hands because that's gonna add some extra work for us. So we'll just try to get as much as we can on this surface. And then once we are ready, oop, went too hard and I got some on the hood by mistake. Let me grab the other brush really quick so we can target this parchment here. I'm deciding if I want to color the weapons the same as the rest of the decorations, or do I want to make it gold as well? Well, at least for the great sword, anyway. I don't know with the. Hmm. You know what? I want that contrast. I want something a little bit more like differing between the two. So I think I will go for the idea and just color it with the white gold. I'm gonna go for it and see what happens. I need more paint. This one is too. It's kind of the shiny bit and the paint kind of separated already. So to put in a new batch, basically. 'Cause this was here about an hour ago, so the paint kind of like separated in a way. I'm trying to refresh it. Then we switch back to the drab and just color this in. Okay. Oh, sorry. Welcome Abstract to the stream. Just realized I was muted. Sorry. How's it going for you? How's your evening, your morning, or your afternoon? Currently getting into the small details right now on my celestial incidents, insidiants, before we start going into the goldy bits. All right. I'm just thinking of how I'm gonna approach some of these ones because in Estonia, nice. Well, welcome, dude. It's currently like what? It's 7:30 in the evening here in the Philippines. Oh, just making sure everything is ready before we start doing the gold bits. Now, how I want to approach this though is we start with this behemoth brass. This takes a lot to deal with because it's a metallic paint. The problem with metallic paints is like a lot of the glittery bits of the paint kind of settle on the bottom of the bottle. So you have to give it a good shaking so that it mixes properly with the rest of the paint before you actually apply it. Oh, nice, dude. Nice. Any sorry, not any, but what is your current project? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, nice, dude. That's cool. Redemptor Dreadnought. Any particular color scheme are you going for? Like, what chapter are you coloring your Redemptor? I realized there's a parchment here. I missed this thing right here. There we go. I had to catch that one. Well, with oh, nice salamander. That's great. With highlights, one piece of advice I would give is that you don't have to get every single inch or every single edge of the model with the highlight. It actually makes it look l- less great to look at. It makes it look like I don't follow box art. That's one thing. Because when I started painting, I was just like, oh, maybe I paint it this way. But then I started looking into like how other people paint their models, and I realized that like um people don't like doing the whole box art thing because it makes them look like fresh out of the factory, and I personally also don't like it having my models look that way. I want it to feel more like in universe. I want it to feel grim dark. I want it to feel gritty and all that. There has to be some wear and tear. These are especially when it comes to dreadnoughts, they're basically veteran space marines encased in a suit that is often that often sees battle. So, because they only wake up the dreadnought if it's going to fight. So you would imagine that every time that there's the dreadnought, that means that there's some heavy fighting going on. So there's going to be scratches. There's going to be weathering. So yeah, you can. I'm sure you get there. Even I'm not like doing some complex techniques anyway. A lot of my painting experience has been trial and error, trying new things and all that. Here, I'll show you my Redemptive Dreadnought, painted in ultramarine colors. So this is my Redemptor. So if you noticed, actually, I don't put a lot of highlights. I didn't put a lot of highlights actually. And the main thing that I used for this, in order to get all these effects and stuff, the weathering, is this thing, makeup brush. Just did all that with just this. Didn't like. I don't have an airbrush. Can't afford to have an airbrush. So looked up the internet of different ways of how to improvise in order to get the whole like weathering effect and everything. Makeup sponge. So we even got into the casket here as well. I want to zoom in on that. Oh, yeah, this opens up too. So let's get a look at the autocannon and his hand, or the with the flamer here at the bottom. Did, did this have a? No, it does not. I thought it would have a like a set of gas tank somewhere, but no. I guess it did have that. Yeah, but pretty much like I didn't look for so much complexity. This was simply done with simple tools. For the watermarks here, the decals. Same thing. I used a bit of the makeup sponge to make that weathering on the paint. You can see here as well on the ultramarine logo. So you can see that there's like chipping away at the paint, everything. Right. So that's pretty much what I was going for the most part, in creating that or building that up. So there are times not really need for like a complex setup and everything. You just need to improvise and find other means of achieving results that you want. The hue color too much olivey color. Then I repainted all the green parts with orc skin. Okay. Then it looked like a salamander color. Yeah. So yeah, one trick like I learned from doing a bit of research is that sometimes you gotta find where the light kind of shines and what is your like what is the lightest green basically that your the armor would look, and especially if you're basing it off from what you call this from Pariah Nexus, and the brightest like and it's very hard to see that brightest hue of green because for one the hue is getting mixed up with the Necron green colors because there's a lot of green lighting in that animation, so it's hard to see like under like let's say this kind of light where it's just white and there's I mean like the hues of like lights sorry colors tend to change depending on what your lighting is like. Just to demonstrate, I have like different modes of color on my ring lamp here. So if I were to like make it a more warm color, then you get this different effect from the lights. I usually stick to a neutral white color. Like I want this pure white. Okay, we'll get back to this one. Oh wait, actually, let's go after the candlesticks and the bottom area of the brass here. This one. All right, I completely forgot about the back. Okay. Sorry, I completely forgot I muted myself. All right, welcome. First off, welcome, Mr. Pigments, to the stream. And I've been, yeah, it's a good thing I muted myself because I was struggling to read metamerism for the most part. And it's a good thing I was able to actually say it straight this time. Kind of cheated in saying that. Thanks for the follow, by the way, because I muted myself while trying to say the word, or I was muted while I was trying to say the word. But how is your day or your evening going, Mr. Pigments? Hope it's going good. Ooh, I see. I appreciate the support, man. At the end of the day, I'm just a guy who enjoys his hobby and wants to share it with the rest of the world. I get to do that uh through this platform. Yeah, I know the feeling, dude. I'm a manager myself for my family's trucking company. So I know what it's like to having to join meetings that you don't really want to attend, but you got to because you have your responsibilities. So it's rare to find those moments where you can just chill out for a bit, enjoy someone doing painting. Right. I think this is good. Yeah, I feel that, man. Like part of my work involves like Because recently, like I myself have had to wake up pretty early because we had to go and canvas some trucks for the business. Had to be up like 4 in the morning because we would have to take a 5 hour drive to where we needed to check out the trucks and everything to canvas. So it was a long, dreary drive. I managed to sleep though because I wasn't driving. Managed to get some sleep back, but good lord, it was a long trip. Oof. We will get to the handle soon. Just that I'm thinking of what to color it because it doesn't seem like a normal like handle that you could just color a certain leather or anything like that. So I imagine it being like wood or or painted wood rather. Or if not even wood, maybe even steel or something, a different metal probably. It's an Asian brand, I think. I'm not entirely sure. There's also Armored Komodo, so it could be region. Nah, that I completely understand that for that expression. Although I'm pretty sure it would sound better in Estonian. Okay, I've been at this particular model for a little too long. I would like to get to the other ones because we still have a few more colors to get through before we move on to the next like set of colors that we need to tackle. To be fair, the um the reliquarios is quite a lot to deal with. So our Komodo went out of business, really? Well, it may not have gone out of business in these regions, I guess, because I'm in Southeast Asia. I'm in the Philippines. So I do see Armor Komodo as well as Hero a lot more than I do see Vallejo or what are the other brands? Army Painter. When I went to Europe, I saw a lot of Army Painter. I don't think I saw that much Vallejo either. And then of course, we see a lot of Citadel because you can't have Warhammer stuff without Citadel. Maybe it wasn't as popular in the North American region, so it kind of transferred over to here in the Asian regions. So I guess it's good to know that they're still around. And not to mention, it's one of the more affordable brands here, in my opinion, because like I've seen expensive brands like Citadel and one other brand. Citadel being, of course, the most expensive one because DW has to sell their paint. Too much water in this one. Yeah. Had to try and dry it some of it off. Maybe we can try and wipe some of this off. There. Yes, I do use hydro paper. It because acrylics dry pretty quickly, so you need something to keep moisture going. And not to mention, I have a fan blowing towards me because it's quite humid right now in the Philippines. So paint tends to dry fairly quickly. I mean, whatever works, man. Baking sheets, tissue paper, and all that. Yeah, whatever works. I just managed to this same brand of paint also sells the sheet paper and the hydro foam. So decided to get their brand of stuff. Oh, that sounds good, dude. It's good to hear. Okay. Doing a bit of laundry. Abstract. Yep, yep. Copy that. Right, Mr. Pigments, if you're still there, probably not in your meeting. Are you also into 40k stuff? And if so, what army are you rocking? If not an army, if you're into say kill team, what faction are you playing with at the moment? Yo, Joker Paints, thank you so much for the raid, man. Welcome, welcome to everyone on the raid party. We are currently working on our Celestial Insidiants for Kill Team. Wanna been testing some new stuff and trying out something a little more challenging this time around with a much more a faction that's like I'm not like I don't see a lot, to be honest, because I've seen Space Marines, orcs, and some of the other factions, but it's not every day I get to see like Adeptus Sororitas. So when I won a tournament, a casual tournament last May in Kill Team, I decided, you know what, let's do something different, and let's get ourselves a Sisters of Battle team for Kill Team, which is now what we're working on painting right now. How was your stream, man? What did you do? Oh, nice. Some RPDs. Nice, nice, nice. Like when I won the tournament and I was given the choice to like choose what kill team I wanted, I was debating whether to get RBDs or one of the other factions because my the tournament organizer said that I could even choose ones that are not out yet or like don't have a solo box yet because the solo boxes would come in soon enough. So I decided, you know what, let's get one of the new teams that were out recently. And I waited over a month for this box to arrive. And once it got in, I immediately dropped what I was doing. Hexmark Destroyer. I have not heard of. That's a new unit I have never heard about. Hexmark Destroyer. Let's check out that data sheet as well. Ooh. The Necron. No, of course it's a Necron. Because the moment I heard, I saw the name Hexmark, I knew it was a Necron unit. But what do you do, my friend? Let's see. Let's have a look see. If Wahapedia can just load, thank you. Uh, it is not loading. So let's try a different There we go. Hmm. Either this datasheet is not updated, and because I only see our uh disintegrator pistols and close combat weapon. I don't know if that's the only like stuff that's on the unit right now, or maybe Wahapedia is not updated on this unit, or I might be missing something here. And as that is the actual data sheet for the Hexmark destroyer. Oh no, it is. I'm looking at the model now. It just straight up has disintegrator pistols. But let's see what it does. Inescapable death once per turn. One unit from your army with this ability can be targeted fire overwatch stratagem. Even if you already have used that stratagem on a different unit in this phase. In addition, each time you target this unit with the fire overwatch stratagem, while resolving that stratagem, hits are scored on modified hit rolls of 2 up. Okay. Multi-threat eliminator once per turn in your opponent's shooting phase. When an enemy unit makes range attack that targets friendly necrons within 3 inches of this model. With this ability, after that enemy has shot, one model with this ability that is within 3 inches of that target can shoot as if it were your shooting phase. But it must target only that enemy unit in doing so, and can only do so if that enemy unit is an eligible target. So it basically fires back as long as you have your if you have your units sort of close clustered all together. So, and it's a single model, just interesting. What's its base? How big is the unit actually? Trying to find where the base size is. 50 millimeters. Oh, okay. And 56 millimeters tall. Okay. So it's kind of like a almost like a medium-sized unit. It's not infantry per se, but it's well, it's a destroyer, so anything that has the word destroyer is probably a medium-sized unit. All right, back to painting. I was kind of chatting up so I could wait out this paint here that I just applied for it to dry out, so I can start applying a little bit here on it. Okay, they do. Actually, let's go back and look at that again. Reanimation protocols. It's I don't see. It is infantry actually. Character destroyer called Hexmark destroyer. Keywords are only Necrons. Those are its keywords, but I don't see anything else that could tell me if it was like special unit. But if it's designed to be an assassin model, then considering the thing only has like the pistols and stuff, I wouldn't be surprised. And ignores cover too. So like if honestly, if I could get my hands on one of those models, be so cool because Kill Team has recently released some new stuff related to PvE for Kill Team, and you can basically use your larger models, such as your dreadnoughts, to act as nemesis. Comes with the new Tyranid model, which is the Red Death, if I remember correctly. I didn't color her. All right. No, it's all good, man. But thanks for that. I appreciate the info regardless. So to brief you on what's going on really at the moment is we are trying to get all these gold bits, the bits that I want to color in gold, but I'm trying to also mix in a bit of other colors. So I'm using a brass color right now. Do a bit of trimming here and there, but ultimately we're going to be using a gold shade so that we can give me a moment here. A gold shield to overpower the rest of the stuff here. Also, thank you so much for the follow. And Jet, welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate you joining me in the raid. How's it going for you, man? How's your day going? Also appreciate the follow, Helgat. So another thing about this channel, guys, we are not only doing painting here, we also do some video games. However, with the arrival of my celestial insidiant, I'm kind of going off my schedule because I wanted to give this a priority because I'm super excited already to get started with the painting. But this month, supposedly, I was supposed to continue my playthrough with Forever Winter. But of course, as I said, we kind of cut that short because we wanted to do the painting. However, I have accomplished a lot in the game, so I'm kind of okay setting it aside for a bit while we get with this project. However, or already by like this week, we are already going to be starting our full month of just paint jobs. So, for those of you stopping by, hit that, and you haven't hit that follow yet, please do if you enjoy painting because we're going to be spending the most of the month of July doing paint jobs. We got a lot of models to catch up on, most especially, since we also acquired this set right here. And we also got the big man himself, Commissar Yarek. So I'm also excited to get started painting this. I already got him. I was so excited when I got this model that um, the day after I got Yarek, I immediately unboxed him in my workplace and started assembling him during my lunch break. Then when I got home and I assembled the Celestial Insidiants, I also decided, I'm gonna prime him too. So by the time I'm done with these models, we'll go straight to Yarek. And believe it or not, like I managed to snag him as he was the last model on the shelf in that local game store that I visited. He was the last Yarek of the shelf. So I was just like, I gotta buy him. I gotta buy him. There was like no debate, no like, rethinking about the budget. Nah, screw the budget. This is our one chance to get Commissar Yarek and actually get him on my shelf. So I'm into a lot of the collecting as well. However, during the weekends though, I still game during the weekends, and we are planning on actually playing Dark Tide with some friends. We are also probably gonna do, like, if I do have the chance as well, if I don't find people to play Dark Tide with, I am also gonna probably play some Space Marine 2 because we gotta catch up on all the stuff there. So, I mean, there's a lot to catch up on in Dark Tide because I know for a fact that there is now the RPDs class as well as the new Skitari class. So I'm interested in seeing those in game when I do. I already have the game downloaded and updated. So pretty excited to jump into that game for a weekend at least. Just for this weekend. And then we'll be back on painting, of course. Because I don't think this project right here is not going to be done anytime soon, so we're going to be spending some significant time on it. And not to mention all the other models as well. All right, thanks for the lurk, Helgat. Helgrat. Maybe I won't go after that just yet. But I will just touch up on these here. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take up that makeup sponge and just dab gold all over it. Alright. Next. Oh, we did this one. Is that everybody? No. There's one more here, and the Mortis Sanctus. Oh no, this one's already done. Yeah, this one's done already. Okay. The Mortis Sanctus, I believe, is the last one. All right, Joker. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone. If you also need to head out, but if you're gonna be sticking around, lurking, I appreciate that as well. If you still guys want to chat up, ask me questions about like painting and stuff, feel free to ask. Or if you want some info on 40k lore, I know a little bit. I know somewhat a bit. I know a lot. But my only area that I'm not like well versed in is actually the board game other than Kill Team. So that bit you can't ask me because I don't know much about big 40k. Big hammer. We call it big hammer here. Where in our communities because like most of us play Kill Team because it's much more affordable because we don't have to spend like thousands of pesos for an army. Although there are people who do play 40k as far as like some of the communities that I know of. However, I think most of them mostly play with 1,000 point armies, budget armies basically. So I have yet to see an actual 2,000 point army. Yeah, I feel that abstract. 2-4, 2-4 for the huge tabletops. I'm just glad I even managed to like snag a set for free because I played in a tourney. Okay, trying to think right now what other things I need to do before we move on to the next color. I believe should be every of course. The denuncia. I didn't do her thing yet. Right here. Okay. Dun. Yeah. Yeah, Cat. Also, welcome to the stream, Cat. Hmm. Notice that I did not color in the parchment that is on this one. Change that. Okay. Okay. Next. Um, Still got a bit of. There's a melta grenade here I missed. Or no, sorry, that's a crack grenade. My mistake. There is also a little rosary here at the back, as well as this small decoration here. Now, I want to tackle this one right here. Mm, I'm debating if I want to color it gold or do I want to stick with the white gold. I feel like sticking to the white gold stays on theme, honestly, for all the weapons because we are going for white gold on this one at least. This one and where is the abjure? Here. I've colored the hilt in the white gold as well. Um, I feel like I feel like a normal gold would suit it fine. All right, chat. Your opinion. Should we color the her staff here? Sorry, her staff. Should we color it in white gold, which is this color here on her backpack, or should I color it gold like the rest of the weapons, or like some of the other weapons as well? What do you guys think? Do you think we can get away with the white gold, or do we stick with everything just being gold, all the weapons like gold and stuff? So it's either we go for a close to gold, or we go for white gold. Oh, take a careful look at what the white gold is, and then look at the model, and then maybe this can help as well to compare the gold. Also, this can help a little bit. Oops. But if you want to see what white gold looks like, then you need to look further. Yeah, I feel like sticking with the gold would be best actually, because that's what I was thinking. Because like I think the white gold works for the swords, honestly, especially what we're going for at some point. But for Something like, of course, the reliquarius and the sensor, gold. The sensor here, gold will suit it fine, suit them fine. Meanwhile, this I think will be fine as well. So let's grab. Where's my drab? Because we're already, our drab has finally dried out, so I need to get a bit more. Okay, we will revisit this model later. Now let's get started with the real gold stuff. We're gonna take our, not the Valiant Brass, Eldora Gold. The paint is too wet. Means it's too thin. So it'll get messy if I try and use it right now. So I need a different whole different dab of paint separate from the one that's quite heavily moist. Moist. Sorry, I just realized I was muted. But welcome, Hansi boy, to the stream. We're getting all of the stuff done. We're getting the metallics done. So you can see we got the gold down on the shield here, as well as the reliquarius. So planning to get this skull colored in the actual bone color soon enough. The sensor as well. It's also good. And right now, I'm trying to locate all of these little grenades here. I'm painting them bronze, giving them a nice bronze color. Now that's done. I'm gonna start targeting those parchments. So to deal with the parchments, we're gonna need a sort of flesh tone color, mixed with. I'm gonna use this one, this color right here, medium flesh. Hey, no problem, dude. Anytime, as long as I'm free, I'm always down to game. Always down to join in and play. Hang out, play, whichever. Ah, yeah. It's always surprising for me to see like lots of people who don't know about some of the old anime stuff. But then again, it's like I spent most of my childhood watching. I used to watch this channel called Animax, and it would show all kinds of anime. And from there I would watch like from day in to day out on just through cable. As a matter of fact, that channel still exists today. Animax, I mean. And but I don't use cable that much anymore, so hope it's still going strong. Oh, bro. I I wanted to comment, right, on your how you were playing Thing. I was like I looked up a guide on Thing, trying to understand how he works. And one thing is for sure is that Thing cannot solo tank. He's not good at solo tanking, actually. That's what I've learned as of late. He really needs like an off tank to help him out. And he's the type of bruiser that just dives in first, does a little bit of poking. If he can get the chance to actually get a kill, then he'll take it. But otherwise, you just do a little bit of poking and then just fall back immediately because in that small moment while you're trying to dive the enemy team's backline, right? The enemy team's backline, right? You only have a few seconds before the DPS and the enemy tanks start turning around to giving their attention to you. So you want to already be backing away before they start throwing all their abilities at you. And you want to be within your healer's range by then as well. Yeah, I noticed that. Those were the exact same the mistakes you were making were the exact same mistakes I was making when I first tried Thing. Because I was expecting, oh, Thing probably has decent damage reduction, right? Wrong. He does not have any damage reduction except when he does his ability. So I was just like, let me move chat here for a bit. I think they should decrease the cooldown on his jumps rather than giving him more jumps. Because like you jump in, like you have one jump in reserve, right? You jump in and then you do a bit of damage, and when you're ready and the cooldowns is set, you should all like w- you should always have like two jumps at all times because you never know when you need that second jump. And another thing is to abuse uh his charge, because his charge not only grants you shield, it also makes you immune to CC while he's charging. So it's a good escape tool. So sometimes it's better to engage by jumping into the enemy rather than charging into them. You would use your charge only to A, put down the CC so they don't run away, and or B, to get away from engagement, to at least give yourselves a chance so that the healers can shoot you up with some heals. If you haven't noticed in my like in the in those games that we were playing, I was actually dying pretty less because I learned my lesson about going right in. I take my time. What Look for that perfect moment, like that certain moment. There's that moment where the tanks are too busy and everyone is busy like firing out the other members. They're concerned about others and just charge right in, jump in, do a bit of damage, maybe put down the CC so you can get away quickly. But of course, the only problem is the burst damage. If you're getting bursted down, got no chance. That's why I was struggling in one of the other matches because all the range units would just dump all their damage. That's the only reason why I would die quickly. Is because I just bursted down. I'm priority target. The moment they see me, it's like kill the thing, kill the thing. Don't let the thing get close. Kill him first. Like I'm trying to learn it piece by piece, right? How do I increase my survivability in matches? What causes me to die early into the match, right? Number one, me just charging straight into the enemy line without considering the lineup and where who I should prioritize in that moment. And number two, one thing I'm still trying to learn is to conserve my jumps and pay attention to my cooldowns. Because if I don't have a spare jump before I engage, then it's most likely I'm just gonna end up dead. By the way, I really have to thank you for teaching me the tech about his jump being used to take down flyers. That has that has led me to like kills where the enemy got surprised that I was able to reach them as the thing. They were not expecting the thing to fly. They're like, "Oh, I'm getting free shots on this thing that can't jump, that can't fly." Ha 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 ha. Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Rock is flying right at me. Wait, why am I on the ground? Why can't I fly back up? Punch. So satisfying to get that off. The haymaker with the debuff. So good. Here's your fun Warhammer Universe fact of the day. Did you know that paper is a luxury in the 41st millennium? So if paper's so rare, what do they use to make these little parchments of these purity seals and all these books that they currently have? Because for one thing's for sure, if it isn't paper or the means of making paper more abundant, it's human corpses. And so, in order to recycle and make sure that the human bodies are fully utilized, the Adeptus Mechanicus have the fun job of collecting those corpses and reutilizing them. And one of the reutilizing those corpses into is human skin. And so, human skin turns into human paper. So the next time you see a book in 40K, you're going to heavily assume it's probably made of human skin. let that one let that one sink in for a bit. But hey, why stop at the skin? What about the rest of the human body? Yeah, right. There's still um lot of resources that could be collected from a human corpse, right? So one thing that helps a lot of populations In these large, huge mega cities called hive cities, one thing that helps them survive is what you call corpse starch. So basically, if if it need be, or probably it's a norm in some hive cities, a lot of human corpses, instead of being just simply buried, are reutilized for food. Since a lot of food is kind of scarce, and even when food is produced on a huge scale, it usually goes, some of it, or if not most, goes to the tables of the higher ranking nobles, unfortunately. So people in the more poorer sections are stuck eating the corpse of their friend Billy, processed into sludge, put into a tuna can, and served. Trying to look for all the parchment I can find so I can color it in. Any more little pieces of parchment? Yes, right here. Okay, so we are getting closer and closer to finishing, and I'm excited because once we get to the final finishing touches, right, we're gonna be seeing all the detail all together. Appreciate the work that we've done for the last, like, how many days? Hold on. go after the skull now. Now, I'm interested in using this one, but I'm not sure what kind of effect I'm going to have. But we're gonna give it a shot. It's quite hmm, see if I can mix it. Okay. Put that down for a sec. Just want to do this really quick. Yeah, I noticed that because he's not leveled yet. We're about to level him up though. We're slowly leveling up because I just recently got the knight, so he is currently, of course, gonna have a bit of a hard time. Okay, we're just gonna buy some upgrades here and there. Okay, all right. Not quite satisfied with the parchment really quick. Just a bit. Okay. Ah, missed this bit right here. Candle. Okay. So how to handle the candle? What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a bit of this. Need to thin it out just a bit more. I want it pretty thin, not that thin maybe, but pretty thin. It spreads just a bit on the top here. Okay. And we take yellow. Take a bit of yellow. Take a bit of red. Get this nice orange. Okay. And take that orange. Add that a little bit to the candle. Then, lastly, go to after that yellow again, and we pop it like so. Ta-da! Get a little lit candle effect right there. Maybe add. Wait, let's thin out our paint here so we can make a bit of an effect here. Let's take that orange again. I think that was better. Yeah. What do you think, Kat? Is that a nice candle effect right there? Alright, cool. Now we gotta do the same. This one. What time is it? 9, almost 9:30. Okay. Let's actually start doing the eyes because I want to get that done since we have our red already. So in order to do that, we start with this titanium white. Okay. Then we need to kind of thin it out just a bit, just enough. Okay. So I want it to retain inside. I only want the tip of the brush soaked in paint. We're gonna need our holder for this one, and we're also gonna need the magnifying glass. Okay. We'll leave that be for now. Or actually, while it's still wet, let's dive right in and get the red. And get right in there. Not quite what I wanted. Mm, okay. Made a slight mistake there, but we'll do it. We'll do better on the other ones. Hey, Shark. How's it going, dude? Welcome to the stream. Kind of making some little mistakes here, but we're about to correct them. All right. That one will just be the trial run. This one, I think I will use some actual thicker paint this time. Okay. Leave that be first. Oops. Mm, it's gonna be a tricky bit. 'Cause I want to improve my work on the eyes this time around, so we're gonna have to do our best here. Try and get only one part of the eye, at least one of the eyes anyway. One section of the eye, right? Let's move the camera just a bit right there. Perfect. And next, now we try and grab our red. Go right in. I've got an insect that's crawling up my leg right now. I hate it. Trying to concentrate, and that thing is just bothering the heck out of me. Yeah. Uh, that tends to have an effect on people, no? When you see somebody doing something that you feel so interested in doing yourself, chances are it's like you want to do it too. And let me tell you, that's how I started. Watching people paint, like, and how they do it. So curious on the process and everything. I wanted to get into it myself. And 3 years later, here I am. Now, I can't say that after 3 years of painting, I would say that I'm like professional or anything. Far from it, man. Far from it. But I would say I'm in a good spot. Uh, Feeling no pressure when I do this because, in fact, It feels so therapeutic in a way. I feel so relaxed when I do this, more than I feel whenever I'm doing other activities that would say like would be relaxing for some people. Whether it's reading a book, watching some YouTube videos, or like watching a movie maybe. Some people relax through that. Me, I don't know what it is about the painting, but somehow I'm just like when I get in that zone, man, it just takes over. It's one of the like this thing like doing the painting stuff is like one of the few hobbies that got me like going just I'm one moment I'm just started, you know, just started out and primed all the models. Next thing you know, I've already done so much details that I'm just like, how did I get here? Can I start playing with with the models now? It's nuts. One thing I want to do is grab my leather brown. We've made us so much progress. I'm not gonna lie. We're speed running this thing. Yo, Ace, what's going, man? How you doing? Going good, going good. Uh, Let me show you what we got going now, right now. So we are going to be working on the belts soon enough. Right here, we're going to be tackling those in just a moment. I think I missed this right here. I missed actually painting her black drapes. So I will get to that in just a moment before I start painting her belts. But check out the reliquary above here. We're gonna be adding like sooner once we're done with all this rest of the details here. There's still a lot of things missing. Like we still need to color up the hole here, and we still need to get the leather belts and the weapon, of course. The um this crossbow attached to a bolt pistol. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Here is another one. The denuncia. We will get to painting her face soon enough. Here's the sensor. Mm, the cremator holding a flamethrower kind of weapon. These are the Sisters of Battle, or the Adepta Sororitas. So we're gonna try and color this power sword later on once we get to doing the weapons. So again, we need to tackle all the belts. So I was thinking going for a black leather, possibly, but we'll see how just the plain leather looks first, because it's already challenging enough that we still need to do a whole lot. Here's the abjure. Again, we are going to color the power sword soon enough once we get into the more into the weapons. But we need to get to all of the leather bits here, the belt, the pouches, you know. But I wanted to go over to our or our superior here because I want to color her hair, but trying to decide on the type of brown I want, and I think I'm gonna go for something that's a bit of a mix between this leather brown and this medium flesh. Excuse me. Okay. Then next, while that's drying, I completely forgot about her bionic eye. Now, what I want to do next, take some black, thin it out a bit. Okay, it's a bit too thin, too thin. Uh, then Okay. So you won't really see the effect much because the face is currently uncolored. But once I get that flesh tone in, and we can see the how the brown kind of mixes with the layer of black, we get this. It's black, but not actually black. But that will be for later. So let's actually get down to business with the leathery bits. Okay, hold on. Because I remember that unfortunately I don't have. Okay, I don't actually have um YouTube chat on display because when I started the multi-stream thing, it made Twitch my primary platform. So I can only see Twitch chat on OBS. So I do have my YouTube stream up just in case. Oh, it's not odd. It's kind of it's that's how it works for the most part. But yeah, multi-streaming has been good. I do have a lot more. I do have a significant more wider audience in Twitch than in YouTube, but that is to be expected because of course the most popular like platform for streaming is of course Twitch. But I do enjoy having my YouTube up because for anyone, it's for the convenience of anyone that misses the streams, whether on Twitch or on YouTube. Because after I'm done, then the stream is uploaded into YouTube as a video for anyone's convenience so that they can view the still get catch the stream even if I'm not streaming on or I'm not on I'm not live rather. But and for the most part, like I know that you haven't I'm sure you've noticed by now, but stream is pretty silent on the YouTube end because I got tired of like having to worry about copyright strikes and all that. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna multi-stream and anyone on Twitch is gonna be able to listen to music, but YouTube will not. So oftentimes, when I start my painting streams, I often recommend people who are watching the VOD or watching the stream to put up their own nice relaxing tunes while I do this. So they can still hear my commentary, but at least during the times when I'm not saying anything and focusing on the painting itself, they can have tunes in the background of their own choice. Okay, the stream isn't too boring. and I don't get in trouble with copyright. So that's fine and dandy. And it's a smart thing to do. Okay. Check on our little chibi people here, 'cause I think someone has leveled up. actually. Uh, what's the steel sector? It's the same, basically. Except this is more expensive. This is level 15. Okay. Hey, boss. Welcome to the stream, man. Sorry, may have missed your message a bit late, but getting knee deep into this. So far, so good. It's done. Denuncia. Been going good, man. Going good. We got a lot more details done, and we're working on the belts and all the other pouches that the models have. Okay. Sec this buckle here. Hmm, one sec. All right. I believe there was one model here that did not get a good treatment of the this black. Need my deep blue. Now there's one model here, specifically the reliquary, that did not get the proper treatment on her drabs on her clothing. So right now I'm gonna make this mix right here to try and correct that. better. Much better. What's missing there? Leather. So as I was saying earlier, um, just did the review. Love the candles, how I did them. Love all the details that we've accomplished today. Tomorrow we will do the faces. We'll be doing faces, the weapons, and then finishing any last finishing touches. And then after that, we will have the. We're gonna do a playtest on the models once they're done. So I look forward to doing that because I want to show how the game runs and then how this team actually performs. So I look forward to that. But yeah, my energy is fully drained. I'm actually pretty tired, and I've been just given the warning that I need to go to bed already. So I am pooped out of my mind. But yeah, for if you haven't already, hit that subscribe and the like if you enjoyed the stream. And for anyone on Twitch, if you have been sticking around as long as you did, I appreciate you all. And hit that follow if you have not. Would love to see you on the next one. But till then, this is Magus signing out. I'll catch you guys on the next one.